everyone, Dr. Lisa Palmer, Dr. Mama Bear, coming to you live from Florida on anxiety, adrenals, and awesome results. How many of you guys are stressed out there? Maybe you're worried about your kids. Maybe you're worried about work. Maybe you're worried about your significant other, and you feel anxious. Like you don't feel good. I remember earlier when my husband and I were not married, we were dating, and I remember being at a restaurant and then all of a sudden feeling like this anxiety feeling. Feeling like this uncomfortable feeling. I remember we were waiting for our food and knowing what I know now as a holistic doctor, I'm like, oh yeah, I know, I know why that happened. But feeling like just not comfortable. Maybe I was nervous in the date. I don't know. But just like we had to leave. And he was like, well, we didn't get our food yet. I'm like, I don't care. Like I have to leave and I have to leave now. And back then we didn't work together. Back then I had my own practice, chiropractic practice. I wasn't doing nutrition yet, or I had just started doing nutrition, and he was working in sports marketing. And I was like, look, I just don't feel good. I got to go. And later I found out my blood sugar would dive down, right? I was hypoglycemic. It's why people get hangry, right? Hangry is hungry and angry. Like the people are like, I have to eat now. You have to bring me the bread bowl, or you have to bring me my salad, or you have to like the snacks in their purse or whatever. And it's because their blood sugar is dipping. And one of the reasons why people feel like nervous like that is their blood sugar. There's actually a cause. Their blood sugar is dropping and their body is trying to get them. They get hangry. They're getting angry because they're like, you have to give me food. You have to give me something. So it's a survival mechanism, right? Some people feel anxiety because there are creatures within us called parasites, and parasites actually can eat chemicals in the brain called neurotransmitters. Those are your feel good chemicals, but when the parasites consume them, you don't feel good. You could feel anxious. You could feel bloated. You could feel have bad dreams. You can grind your teeth. You can have cravings, very intense cravings for sweets. So back in the day when I had a lot of parasites, I remember having really intense cravings for Ben and Jerry's. And one time it was so bad, it was during a full moon. And my husband and I were now married. And I said, honey, like, well, let's go to the store. And he's like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, Ben and Jerry's. He's like, we're going to the store just for Ben and Jerry's. I was like, yeah. And we did like the ice cream walk of shame where, like we didn't need toilet paper. Like you try to pretend like you need other stuff, right? We didn't need toilet paper. We didn't need paper towels. We didn't need just soap. We didn't need anything. We were just going to the grocery store for ice cream. And so I remember the Ben and Jerry's like going down what is that thing called that carries the groceries, going down the, whatever it's called. I can't think of it now. And it was like the cashier knew him and I just had an ice cream craving. A craving is your body is looking for certain nutrients usually. In this case, parasites can cause cravings, and they really, really, really like sugar. I was just talking to a student in the academy, and she has a patient who's a little girl. A little girl ate half of the sugar bowl this past full moon. So full moons can cause parasites to be more active. Parasites are made out of water. And when the moon cycles change, the tides change. So water levels in the ocean can change too. We're mainly made out of water. Our tides can change, and you can ask an emergency room nurse or doctor, hey, are you guys more busy during full moons? And they'll tell you absolutely yes. Like they'll tell you, yeah, we are. And one of the reasons, my theory is that parasites get very active. And then you have the sweet craving. So for me and my husband with the Ben and Jerry's craving, we fed our parasites that day. And so parasites that are not consuming enough sugars you can feel like a underlying anxiety. You have glands in your back that are above the kidney, and those glands are called adrenal glands. Those adrenal glands make and also release stress hormones. And so say you're driving on the interstate, or if you're in California, you guys call it freeways, right? You're driving on the freeway and someone cuts you off, your adrenal glands kick in. So your reflexes increase, your eyes will dilate to let more light in, your heart will start beating faster, you'll start breathing faster. You might have to like catch your breath because you're like, right? And so those adrenal glands secrete stress hormone, and that stress hormone gets you to increase your reactivity so you don't die when someone cuts you off. You either slam on the brakes or you change lanes or you go faster or you avoid that crash. And so the adrenal glands can be activated in driving. The adrenal glands can be activated. I just went through 3 tornadoes, right? So one hit my house in Orlando, which is very rare. Luckily, our house is still standing. So thank you guys for asking. That's very kind. And then when I went to Nashville, the night I got there, there was extreme tornado warnings. I got in the stairwell. So my adrenal glands were secreting stress hormone. We had an alert. I had an alert go off on my phone at like 3 in the morning. It's the same kind of sound that we hear when we have hurricanes, alerting us in Florida that we have a hurricane. The same kind of awful but helpful alert went off saying there was an extreme tornado warning in that area that I was staying in Nashville at the airport. And so, me knowing the power of tornadoes, because hurricanes spin off tornadoes, got into the hotel stairwell because it didn't have a basement. And so I stayed in the concrete stairwell. I made friends with a lady from Oklahoma because I figure she would know about tornadoes. And we hung out for hours in the stairwell because it was one warning and that would pass. And then the next one would start. And then that one passed. And the next one would start. And that would pass. And talk about stress. Like there were people, it was 3 in the morning. There were people in their pajamas. There were people with like their hair all crazy. There was people with kids that were like out of it because everybody was sleeping. There were people that decided to go to the lobby and sit in front of the big glass window. I'm like, why would you do that? It's a tornado warning. Like big glass windows are not safe. And so it was kind of stressful. And then the day before I was supposed to leave, there was another tornado warning, right? So extreme stress can cause those adrenal glands to burn out, those adrenal glands to over secrete stress hormones like cortisol. And you may not feel good, So I didn't feel great when I was in the stairwell. I didn't feel bad, but I was a little bit edgy. I was kind and I was concerned and I was polite. But by the time I got home, I was like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home, right? And so you may be feeling like that because you went through the stress of the hurricanes. You went through the stress of the blizzard. You went through the stress of your job. You went through the stress of whatever happened in your life. And those little adrenal glands kept secreting hormones for stress. Meanwhile, you burned out a certain mineral that is very common when you get stressed out called magnesium. And so when you burn up too much magnesium, your muscles get really tight and they can spasm. So some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, like if you just gave me a massage, I'd feel amazing, right? Where you have those knots, especially women get knots in their shoulders. And you could get massage and that could help, but you could also take magnesium. In fact, I have a magnesium oil that you can spray and your body absorbs the magnesium and that can help to relax muscles. Some people are constipated. They don't have enough magnesium. And so their colon stays all constricted and they're constipated and it's hard for them to go to the bathroom. Other people, when they're stressed, they're low in vitamin B1. You need vitamin B1 for good mental health. If your B1 gets too low, you might be like really sensitive and cry. There's no problem in crying, but if you cry over everything, your just system is not processing the stress because you need more vitamin B1. You may be low in other B vitamins. You may be low. You might need some protein. Maybe you're so stressed out that you didn't even eat, right? So maybe you need some protein. Maybe you're dehydrated. Maybe you need some electrolytes. So these are positive natural health solutions that you can do for anxiety, that you can do for your adrenals, that you can do for stress. So you can take a vitamin B1. B1 is water soluble, meaning whatever you don't need, you pee out, right? And that your pee will turn like more yellow or brighter yellow. It just means that you didn't use some of the B1. Totally fine. You could take some magnesium. Certain forms of magnesium might make you poop. Other forms of magnesium are less likely to make you poop. You can take that before bed. That can help you sleep. That can help you with stress levels. You could take some electrolytes because you'll burn through more potassium. You'll burn through more good salt. You'll burn through more trace minerals when you're stressed. And then things to help with life, right? It is awesome for you to get out there and get some sunshine. And I don't mean like bake in the sun like when I did in high school. We get on my friend's roof and lay on her roof and like bake with baby oil. I don't mean that. I mean, get some sunlight. Go for a walk. Talk to a friend. If you're a musician, play some music. If you're not a musician, learn how to play some music. If you like art, draw some art or paint some art or create some art. Maybe you're a gym. You like to go to the gym. Go to the gym. Get your body moving. And then whatever it is that you're stressing about, find something that you can do about it, right? Maybe you don't have a good relationship with your boss. And so maybe you can schedule a meeting with your boss to discuss your concerns, right? And have a plan. Maybe you're worried about your kids. So maybe you can have a conversation with your child on the things that they're doing that's great, and then the things that are doing that make you worry or make you stressed. And so these are positive tips to handle anxiety. A Ritalin prescription or an anti anxiety prescription or an antidepressant prescription, those medications will never fix anxiety. They will never fix the cause of depression. And unfortunately, many of those medications, the side effects are worse than the drug, right? The drug causes side effects. Like you're taking it because you are a little anxious, and then the drug makes you even more anxious. Now, I am not recommending for you to stop them, because those drugs are so toxic that if you stop them very quickly, you will have withdrawal, and sometimes the symptoms are even worse. And so do not stop any of those drugs immediately, because that you'll withdraw, and that's not a good thing. Instead, you can work with us at Palmer Natural Health, and we can look at whatever imbalances are in your body. Maybe you need more magnesium. Maybe you need to have some more protein for breakfast. Maybe you need to drink something other than Diet Coke all day, right? I don't know what it is. We would figure out how to help your body rebalance it naturally. We'd figure out the things that you like to eat. Great. We figure out the things that you like to eat that are not so amazing, and we would pick one thing, not 20 things. We'll pick one thing to work on in a very easy, simple way. We'll help you with lifestyle and help you get better. And we achieve awesome results. And why I can say awesome is we have over 500 Google reviews. You can go to my Google page, Palmer Natural Health, and you can read what patients and clients have to say about us. And so if you are feeling anxious, if you are feeling stressed, if you are worried that something is not right and the doctors tell you it's all in your head or it's because you're getting older, I would love to help you. There is hope. Something can be done about it. And I would love for my team to see how we can help you. I'm Dr. Lisa Palmer, Dr. Mama Bear. Good night, everyone.